Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing very well. So I'm back with another meal planning video. Now this video is different than my usual video because usually I go for grocery shopping and whatever the stuff I buy, based on that I do the meal planning. This video is different because actually I didn't get chance to go for grocery shopping at all. So whatever the stuff I have in the fridge as well as the pantry, I'm just making meal plan out of it because I'm gonna be working full-time, and I will be working full-time after so many years. So I'm not used to that schedule anymore. But I just want to have few of the things ready so then at evening time when I come home, I'm not rushing and at least few of the things is ready. So then I won't be spending too much time in the kitchen also. And this is what I do every single time when I do the meal planning. Also every weekend too, I make sure that my masala box is ready to go. So anything that I need to refill, I do it that time. Also in my masala box underneath, I keep the paper napkin. So in case if something spill, no big deal. I can just clean it very easily. And in my last video or the video before, I did share how I make the yogurt at home. If you haven't seen that recipe, the link will be down below in the description box, but I forgot to show you guys how the yogurt looks like next day. So again, it is part of my meal planning. This is what I do every single weekend. So that way I do have the yogurt for 1 week, and I keep it in the oven. I just turn the light on and that's about it. But I do it sometime at night and keep it overnight. So next day yogurt is ready, and that's how the yogurt looks like. Definitely guys, try that recipe because I do add some milk powder in there and it's so tasty. You know, it's not sour at all, but it tastes really good. So that video will be linked down below in the description box. Also, I'm making mung. Now, everyone in my family love mung, so every week we have to have the mung. And also here I'm making quinoa. Now, if you haven't try the quinoa, or if you're not a big fan of it, I would say try my recipe. You will like it because quinoa is high in protein, fibers, and it's really good for you, right? But before that, let's start with our breakfast recipe, and that is the oat uttapam. Guys, you had to try this recipe. It is such a high in protein as well as the fiber. So for that, here I'm using this Kodiak brand oats. You can use any kind of brand that you like. The reason I like this one is because it has a 10 gram of protein. So first of all, I'm gonna take 2 cups of oats and we're gonna dry roast this. When you dry roast this, you do want to do it on the low to medium flame, and you want to roast them until they are lightly brown. And here in this pan, I do have about tablespoon ghee. Into that, I'm adding chopped green chilies as well as onions, some cabbage, and shredded carrot. You can add any kind of vegetables that you like in here. Next, I'm gonna add about 1 cup of suji. Once you add the suji, you want to dry roast this on low to medium flame for about 2 to 3 minutes. And the oats that I dry roasted, I grind it. So I took 2 cups, but then I'm just gonna use 1 cup for this uttapam. So basically we need 1 cup of suji as well as 1 cup of oats, and also we'll add 1 cup of yogurt in here. Once you add the oats in here, then you want to let this cool down completely, and then I'm gonna add 1 cup of yogurt in here. After mixing yogurt properly, I'm gonna add 1 cup of water in here. You don't want to add too much water first. Just add a little bit and see how much more you need it. And I end up actually adding 2 cups of water in here. After that, you want to keep this batter on a side for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that, if you feel like that it's way too dry, you can go ahead and add more water into it. Also adding some salt to taste as well as a pinch of hing and the haldi powder. And then we'll go ahead and make the uttapam. So you can make this batter at night, and then morning for breakfast you can go ahead and make the uttapam. As I mentioned, this uttapam is high in fiber as well as high in protein too. So it is super healthy breakfast, and this uttapam you do want to make it smaller as well as the thicker than the usual uttapam. since we do have the oats in there, it's not gonna be as thin as the other one. Also, you can sprinkle some sesame seeds on top, and this is what I eat for breakfast in the morning. Now, I'm not too big into breakfast at all. All I need is my chai, and that's about it. But ever since I started full-time job, I'm trying to be better with it, and I want to eat something healthy before I go. So if I don't have that much time in the morning to cook anything for me, I usually make it at night, keep it ready. So next morning, all I need to do is warm it up. And sometimes I don't even have a time to sit down and eat breakfast. Then in that case, I just take it with me in the car and eat. But they are so tasty, especially there is a suji in there. So this uttapam do get really crispy. So definitely guys, try this recipe. Even my kids also like this too. So nowadays I make it for Aryan also before he go to school. He eats around a couple of them, and I eat also two of them with the chai. So it's a perfect healthy breakfast. So here, this is how my fridge looks like right now. As you can see, it is pretty empty. And meal planning, it's not like you write it down what you want to make from Monday to Friday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And based on that, you do grocery shopping. You do what works for you. You do what is easy for you. There is no right way, wrong way of doing this. The idea behind meal planning is basically just to make our life easy. Because in my case, as you can see here, my fridge is pretty empty, right? I mean, I hardly have anything in there. But the reason I want to do this is because when I come home after working 8 or 10 hours, I don't want to stress myself out. At least a few things are ready, like some sabjis are ready or the dal is ready. Then half of the thing is ready. I don't need to spend too much time in the kitchen because we actually eat early dinner. By 6 o'clock, my kitchen is done. So once I come home, it's around 5 o'clock, and then I start making dinner. Then it takes longer. Also, I don't want to spend that much time in the kitchen. So whatever works for you, whatever is easy for you, you can do that. If you are working mom like me, or even stay at home mom, even when I was at home, when I was working part-time, I always been doing meal planning. And also you do want to have few of the gadgets in your kitchen that make your life easy. And one of them is this chopper, which I'm gonna link it down below in the description box. Also in one of the video, I did share the technique to make the quick dinner. You don't want to miss that video. I will link it down below in the description box, because in that video, I focus more on the technique to make a quick dinner. And in that video, I did share how I make the sabji. I make the sabji in the microwave. And for that, of course, you do want to use the bag that is only good for microwave, not any kind of bag. So I'm not going to go too much in detail for that. Again, you can watch that video. It will be linked down below in the description box. But again, this is the much easier way to make any kind of sabji. Also here I'm using some steamed vegetables. These kind of things you do want to keep it in your freezer section. Also a few of the things in the pantry. So that way again, when you do want to make the quick dinner or lunch, those are very handy. So first of all, here I'm taking about tablespoon oil, and into that I'm gonna add some chopped onion. We'll go ahead and make the quinoa. So again, any kind of vegetables that you like, you can use it. Also, here I do have this frozen vegetables. I steamed that and just go ahead and add that in here. So here I do have some carrot as well as the cauliflower. I did add some cabbage, and for sauce, we're gonna use some chili garlic sauce. Again, any kind of combination that you like, you can just go ahead and add that in here. Also, I'm adding a little bit of soya sauce in here. You do want to let this cook for about a minute or so and just go ahead and mix everything very well. At the last, I'm also adding some black beans. Instead of black beans, you can always add some chickpeas and just add quinoa, and that's about it, guys. It is such a healthy lunch. So we took care of the breakfast as well as the lunch. Now both of these recipes are high in fiber, protein, as well as, of course, very tasty. Now let's go ahead and make something quick for snacks. So here I'm making this very tasty chickpeas. For that, all we need is tablespoon oil. Instead of oil, you can always use ghee. Into that, add some chopped onions as well as green chilies, and that's about it. Once that is sauteed just for a few seconds or so, you want to go ahead and add some chickpeas in there. If you don't like the chickpeas, you can always use either black beans or any kind of beans. But definitely, guys, out of all this recipe, if you do want to try one, go for this one, because as you can see, it is super easy to make, but it is so healthy because again, chickpeas is so high in protein, and it just tastes so good. You know, there's nothing, hardly any other flavors in there. It is so simple, but it's so yummy. So sometimes I make this and I take it for lunch because, you know, it doesn't, it's good for you, but it's not too heavy also. So that was our quick snacks. Now for dinner, as you saw that I boiled some mung, so we'll make the khatta mung. I don't think so I have ever shared this recipe with you guys before, so we need some ghee for this. Also add some curry patta, some mustard seed in there, pinch of hing, and we'll just add some chopped onions because onion just tastes good with anything basically. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that, let that saute for a few seconds, and here I do have about 1 cup of yogurt. Into that add some haldi powder, dhania jeera powder, as well as the red chili powder. After mixing everything very well, you do want to add some water in here, and when you add this into the onion mixture, you do want to turn off the stove. Make sure the stove is off this time and keep stirring it, otherwise it will curdle and just doesn't look nice at all. So once you add the yogurt, you want to just keep stirring it. Make sure the stove is off. I will add more water into this. Now the consistency of this, it's up to you. We usually like this like a dal style. So that's why I'm adding water in here. But if you like kind of semi-solid, then you don't need to add too much water. And once you add it, you do want to let that boil for about 5 minutes and then go ahead and add the mung. Once you add the mung, again, let it boil for about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and make the dal bhaji sabji, and that is also, we'll make it in pressure cooker. I do have about tablespoon oil. Into that add some mustard seed, little bit of hing, and then we'll go ahead and add chopped spinach. And here I'm using the mung dal without the skin one, and I did soak that for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna add that as well as the usual masala. So haldi powder, dhania jeera powder, red chili powder, salt to taste. You do want to add a little bit more water into this, and all you need is 1 whistle, and that's about it, guys. Just within 1 whistle, this sabji will be ready. So this sabji, of course, you can make it on the stove just like we make the other sabji. But the reason I like to make it in pressure cooker is, first of all, it saves so much time. Second thing, just with the 1 whistle, you will see that the dal is not mushy at all. You can see the dal perfect shape. So that's the reason I like to make it in the pressure cooker. So now that sabji is ready, let's go ahead and take care of our cabbage sabji. So as you saw, first of all, I made that cabbage in the microwave. Now I'm just gonna add some tadka. So we need about a tablespoon oil. Into that, some mustard seed, pinch of hing. Also, I always add methi dana whenever I'm making the cabbage sabji, and add some whole red chili, as well as I do have the boiled potato, so I add that. And then just go ahead and add the cabbage, add some usual masala. And as I mentioned earlier, that I'm gonna link that video down below in the description box. So in that video I explain more, like more in the detail, you know, how much cabbage you need and how many minutes you need to put it in the microwave and all that. So don't forget to watch that video. But again, this is such an easy and quick way to make dinner. So I just add some usual masala, mix everything very well. At the last, I'm gonna add some frozen peas and mix everything. That's it. Our cabbage sabji is ready. So that's it. Meal planning is done. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all recipes are super healthy. And just by making this, it helped me so much. My week actually went so easily because I was not stressed about it. Like, what am I gonna make for lunch or dinner? And I basically had a head start, right? Because when I came home, few of the things were ready. So all I had to do is just make either roti or the rice, and dinner was ready. And yes, after cooking all day long, kitchen doesn't look pretty at all. As you can see, it's mess everywhere, but definitely it is all worth it. So I spent about an hour or so to clean this entire kitchen, because that is the one thing that I cannot go to sleep if the kitchen is messy. Doesn't matter how tired I am, I always make sure, and especially the weekend, right? Because I want to start the new week very on the calm side, and I don't want to see mess anywhere. So that is the one thing I always do it. So yeah, kitchen is nice and clean, and I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much guys for watching this. And yes, my next coming video is already actually ready. So you guys will see that video on Monday, because I'm gonna post this video Friday, so the Monday will be new video too. So don't forget to watch that. But again, thank you so much for watching this one, guys. I hope this video is helpful to you. Take care, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.